Greetings, YouTube. Just as we discussed at the beginning of the week, it's crazy to think that was already 4 days ago. Tomorrow, April 23rd, marks the second annual Deadpool Spring Cleaning event. Now, if you missed the video, I went over and kind of discussed the past year's offers. Now, this video is about hoping that we have a wish list of sorts for the buffs of the 2021 offers versus the 2020 offers. And so we will look back at some of the top tiered offers for last year and what I hope will be the case for Thronebreakers. Now, I had some requests for some of you who are not Thronebreaker, which is most people that watch my channel, to say, Prof, could you please, in this video that you're making, include wish lists for other progressions? And so I can't promise that I'll do every progression because I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long. But I will do my best to discuss at least Uncollected and Cavalier. Maybe once in a while throw in a Conqueror, but those are going to be my main focus. Thronebreaker, Cavalier, and Uncollected, assuming that those progressions are separated, because we've seen, like, in the case of the Glory Store, sometimes they'll pair Cavalier and Uncollected together. So, in Bundle 1, for 7,500 doubloons, and this is going to be a theme throughout this, for Thronebreaker players, for Cavalier players, this is fine for Uncollected. But for Cavalier and Thronebreaker, double it. I want to see a minimum of 5,000 Tier 5 basic Callus Fragments. Not even 4,500. Just go 5,000. Straight 5,000. And 2,000 to 2,500 5-star shards. Otherwise, I just don't understand, unless you've got doubloons left over and you're just trying to burn them, I don't know why you would buy crystal shards when Cavalier crystals have been buffed and it's so cheap and so much easier for in-game players to get 5 and 6-star shards. You're going to want to spend your currency on things you can't easily get every week in the game, which generally involves 3 things: Nexus crystals, Tier 5 class catalyst fragments, and yes, even what I would consider to be the third part of that, and that would be 6-star shards. Because 6-star shards are still pretty dang rare. 5-star shards, even 5-star Nexus, not the rarest, and yet last year it felt like it was crazy rare because Nexus crystals were still, well, very new to the game. Amazing how much has changed in a year. So for the second bundle, this thing's got to be, I would think for Uncollected players, it's got to be 3,600 Tier 4 basic, but for Cavalier and Thronebreakers, you got to make this 2 Tier 4 basic for the price, and I would say a minimum of 1,000 6-star shards probably for Uncollected. And for Cavalier and Thronebreakers, double it to 2,000. 2,000 6-star shards for 15,000 doubloons. Now we're talking with bundle number 2. Now, I skipped to bundle 4 because this was, again, an emphasis on 6-star shards. For Tier 5 basic Callus Fragments, this might sound unreasonable, but given where they are now, I think this should be 15,000. This should be 5 times what it was last year for 22,500 of that new currency. And then 6-star shards, again, maybe I'm being too greedy, but I don't care. Half a 6-star. Instead of 750, 5,000 6-star shards. That is going to be where the game is right now in 2021. If you want to give some kind of a middle ground, I'll say 2,500 6-star shards and 7,500 Tier 5 basic. But if you're in the top progression, that's what would tempt you. Anything else, especially for Tier 5 basic, you probably got some in overflow right now. You're not going to care. Now, bundle 5, love it. I think you got to double the 6 stones to at least 10, maybe even for Cavalier 20. Make it worth the equivalent of a 5-star dupe, because we can now get 6 stones every day in those 22-hour events. That was not the case a year ago. And then 27,000 Tier 2 Alpha, please. For Uncollected members, you should get a fully formed. But I think for Cavalier / Thronebreaker, double it to 2 Tier 2 Alpha Catalysts or 72,000 Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst Fragments. For Bundle 6, I would hope that they would, if they're going to keep the 6-star Signature Stone crystals, more than double it to 20, because most of the RNG is not going to give you the class that you need anyway. And then the 6-star shards, maybe this is the 5,000 6-star shard mark that we were talking about before. But if you're not going to make those 6-star Signature Stones generics and you're going to keep them at crystals, you've got to put it at about the number that you would hope for if you were to dupe a 6-star naturally, especially because, cannot say this enough, it's a crystal, it's not a generic So most of the time, the class you're targeting, you're not going to get. In Bundle 7, God, 10% is fine. This is fine for uncollected. Cavalier, I think you deserve 25% for this price. 25% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystal. And I really think that they've had this pattern of saving the selectors for Thronebreaker players. But let's be real. If you're Cavalier, this is the item that's keeping you from Thronebreaker. You have some percentage of the way to allowing your 6-star champion a rank 3 rank up, and thus completing the 10%, though it's way more than that in reality, of what Kabam says is left if you have completed Act 6 to become a Thronebreaker. And somebody like my good friend Mama Bear, she's not going to clear any content anytime soon to get to Thronebreaker. But if she had a 10 or 20% selector, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe Uncollected gets this, and then Cavalier players, you get a 10% selector, and then they're going to do Thronebreaker either 20% selector or 20% crystal. I would imagine probably crystal over selector just because it's Kabam, and they're going to save the selector for maybe next year because they don't want to go so crazy that they're going to have to scale back. That's the problem with buffing these year to year, and we've seen it in July 4th or Cyber Weekend. You could actually look back on the previous year and think, those offers last year were better than this year in some respects, and so Kabam doesn't want to make that mistake again. But because of that, I'm hoping that this is at least a selector for Cavalier players. That would get a lot of people to purchase the unit offers because they are so in need, those Cavalier players, of taking that 6-star to rank 3. Now, a 5-star Nexus at this point, if you're uncollected, sure, keep this. But Cavalier or Thronebreaker, man, this has got to be a 6-star Nexus. Keep in mind that for Thronebreaker players, a 6-star Nexus on Cyber Weekend, which was, 6 months ago, was $30. $30. And my guess is for $337,500, and we'll remind ourselves what that is, it's going to be over $100. You can justify that with triple the price for this spring cleaning bonus item. And then, personally, 6-star Nexus, 10,000 6-star shards. Do a 6-star basic and a 6-star Nexus. How much would they sell if they did that? I'm just saying. A lot. A heck of a lot. Bundle 9. So, 5-star Awakening Gem as a generic is fine for uncollected, but Cavalier and especially Thronebreakers, it's all about the 6-star class-based Awakening Gem at this point. 675,000 doubloons is a fair price for that. Because let's keep in mind, if they keep this the same way, that's over $200, or I guess a little under $200 worth of doubloons. 337,500. So if you were to buy the limit of 3, which is, $300, you would be able to purchase 1 6-star Awakening Gem and 2 6-star Nexus, along with enough shards to open 2 more 6-star basic. I think that's fair. That's still worse than the price point of Cyber Weekend, but it's better than an average day. And if you're a Thronebreaker, that's what it's going to take. 6-star 6 stones, Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment selectors, and then a 6-star Awakening Gem and 6-star Nexus along with 6-star shards. I mean, that is what it is for this. So I wanted to make this under 10 minutes. I know I didn't talk about Conqueror players much, Proven players much, but I didn't want this to be a video that just dragged on and on and on. My biggest concern every time one of these days comes is to have uncollected players become Cavalier and Cavalier become Thronebreaker. So you uncollected players, you're going to look up for rank up materials. I would love for you to get your hands on a rank 4 to rank 5 rank up gem somehow for 5 stars because that would really help you. And then Cavalier players, again, let's be honest. It's all about Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragments that are selectors, not crystals, because that's why you were so screwed when Kabam was so out of touch on Cyber Weekend. Let's hope they learned their lesson and didn't give you another crystal, but instead gave you a selector. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see how it is tomorrow. I'll grade everything as always. Until next time, YouTube, have a good one.